Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. And now to honor America, please join in the singing of our national anthem. Representing the three-time Stanley Cup champion New Jersey Devils, Arlette.
I feel like I'm at a game. Oh my gosh. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Sunday! It's the Let's Go Devils podcast here on the Let's Go Devils podcast network. Wouldn't you know? Look at that. Isn't that a coincidence right there? Holy hell.
Man.
Never would have saw that coming. How's it going, everybody? It's Scotty along here with Beer Baron, Shorts Guy. What's your cat's name?
Tread,
Tread,
like a tire tread, yes.
Tread lightly. Barking in the background. The Mets are sucking. And, the Devils are getting ready for the regular season. Hey, at least both the Giants and the Jets won. I really only care about the Giants side of things, but what do you know? Maybe can we get the hat trick? Come on, Mets. Can we get the three teams in one day?
Well, my Red Bulls won, so it would be 4 for
All
me.
right, there you go. All right, let's get the quad trick then, or whatever they call it there.
Go get the Ovech trick.
The Ovech trick or something.
Where in the
let's get the Scott Stevens. Can we get the Stevens?
Yeah.
That would be good.
There we
Dude,
go.
Did I send that in the group text that message that somebody was like, can you put that in hockey terms? And they're like, oh yeah, that's like basically Scott Stevens roaming the line in 03. Did you see that? Yeah,
I did not see
Anyways. That. No?
Welcome,
you would
everybody. Sorry. Welcome, everybody. YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Twitter, Twitch. Hello. Nice to see you again. Please hit the like, follow, subscribe buttons over there. We truly, truly do appreciate it. And we want to say a big hello to Billy Dean, because Sam Wu right now is sitting in, I think, the left field stands at Citi Field in a squirrel costume, no less. And the Mets are losing 4-0. So Billy Dean over here from Hockey on Tap is filling in for the great Sam Wu. Billy, how's it going, bud?
Yeah, guys, it's fantastic. By the way, that was so much better of an intro than Sam Wu. I just had to add it to you, Scotty. Listen, the Mets suck. I was at the Jet game earlier today. It was fantastic.
Okay.
Zach Wilson did not suck. That was good. Breece Hall is a beast. And yeah, I mean, everything is going well in Jetland right now. We're seeing 2 wins back to back, which is a long time coming. But we're watching here a little football, and but I'm enjoying the Devils, show real fast, and then we'll talk about some other teams on Monday's show, but when you guys don't want to talk about, I'm sure. But yeah, everything's good, and I'm here,
Dude.
Oh, look at that! Now that's a hell of an intro over there. That's a hell of an intro.
That's all I am is an intro.
Glad,
dude, you're more than that. You're the man, the myth, the legend,
that, buddy.
It's just
When
a
you
shame
get
that
it right.
you root for the wrong team.
Well, it could be the right team from other people's perspectives, but yes.
Well, from this perspective, it's the wrong team.
From this
Yeah, exactly. From 3 of the 4, it's the wrong perspective. Yep.
Yeah. Again, that's another show that happens on Monday nights that you can also check out here.
Yeah.
And it's not just Rangers, obviously. We talk about Penguins and Lightning for the people that just really hate their lives. So.
Lightning would be fun. Penguins, I don't know.
Talk about beer. See,
Yeah, I mean, beers, too.
that's the thing that we need to do with the hockey. When he watches the Lightning game, just no matter what happens, they could win, and he'll stuff. So we're trying to get like a live swim cam when he's watching a playoff game.
Yeah,
Just
Okay.
so the rest of the world can see him watching a Lightning game.
Yeah, it's amazing how
Yes.
someone can be so miserable watching their team play. I never understood
Watching
that, but he's that. He's the epitome of just disgust when watching your own team.
So miserable watching a winning team. Imagine if his team sucked.
Oh man.
We'd be on suicide watch.
Oh man.
I mean, if you're miserable and your team's that good, and you're like, back-to-back championships, damn it! Why would they do such a thing? Like, come on, man! I wish our team was that bad.
Seriously.
I just have to add this. So he wins his second championship, right? And we have the live Schwim cam on. We were doing the podcast on, I think it was game 5. I think it was game 5 or 6. They won, 2 years ago. And he, 90 seconds before they're about to win, and they're up by 2 goals, I think, in that game 6 win. He's screaming at his television like they just, shit the bed and lost the cup. I'm like, what is wrong with you? How is that physically possible? You can be so angry when you're about to just hit all-time elation.
Here's the difference between Hockey on Tap and then the Sunday podcast is I wish we could curse as freely as we do on Monday.
Hey, please do. I mean, that's fun. I mean, I'm sorry for the censors, but yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
He just pulled
it's always nice having. It's all yeah, right. It's always nice having Billy along, filling in for the great Sam Wu. We thank him for everything he does behind the scenes there, getting us up and running, and getting us on the air here with you, Devils fans out there. We're getting ready for the season. Opening night, Thursday night down there in Philadelphia. Sam Wu's going to be at Chickies and Pete's. If you happen to be going down, stop by, say hello. Pre-game, post-game. It's going to be a good time. I'm excited. How you guys feeling about the team? Because they made some roster cuts since the last time we talked, and a couple final decisions to be made here, but pretty close to your set squad that you're rolling out
roster there. Yeah.
So one thing that I wanted to kind of point out that I thought was really fun. The other day they showed a couple of clips of practice, and they had Sergei Brylin out there, and he did you see? You know what I'm talking about? Like when they fed him a one-timer, and he just ripped a shot. Yeah, and then he cellied. He goes off and he goes to his celly. But there are certain things that happen with a team. And I'm a huge believer in the culture of a team, in the way that they behave in and off the ice, like the way that practice is run. Not to talk about another sport, but you look at somebody like the New York Giants, and you change the culture by changing the coach, and you change the GM, and you feel there's like a lot of pieces that are still the same from
4 or 5 times.
4 or 5 times. I get it right once in a while. But lucky number 4. Lucky number 4. The Devils are not that far off, too.
I know, right?
But the point that I'm trying to get to is they didn't change the head coach in Lindy Ruff, but they did change some of the coaches around the team. They just feel a little bit different this year with a lot of the a lot of the players that they bring in. I think it was Brandon Smith the other day had a great quote that he was basically like, I don't care. We're trying to build like a brother, or you're preaching brotherhood around here. And he goes, you know what brotherhood is? It's like going in there and standing up and sticking up for somebody. And I don't care who it is. I will stand up for anybody on this team. And basically like putting his foot down, saying like, I'll throw down if I need to throw down. And that's the kind of thing you want to see. You want to see that tight knit group. You want to see that brotherhood. You want to see like them having fun in practice. You want to see them have coaches that they can probably relate to a little bit more. They want to have like a different culture change. Like, you're not going to change Lindy Ruff, but you can change other pieces around it. And it feels like that's what they're trying to do. So for me, like, I'm excited to see the final roster, like what there's, who's going to be in. We kind of have an idea of who's going to be in the starting roster, and we have an idea of like what lines are going to be what. And it all also depends on the health of Nico Hischier. But getting this team in a right mindset going into the season, I think it's a huge step. And you bring in the right pieces, and you can do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I had the opportunity to actually sit down and watch.
Extended sip. I'm like, and yep.
And that's the podcast, folks. Take care. Good night. Have
Good
a good
night.
one. Drive safe.
That's all you needed to know. Change culture. See ya.
That's a big part of it. No, it is. It's a huge part of it. You can already see the defense with McGill. It looks a lot different. So, and the personnel is also a little bit different, but not all the way around. We got 4 people coming back
just
from last year.
Tweak it just enough.
Just enough.
Just enough.
Just enough to change. Just to change the voices in the room. Just enough to, mean more.
Yeah.
I mean, like you were talking about Beer Baron with that thing with Breland. Like, Breland knows how to win. Breland has done it at the highest level, and he also knows what it's like to be a New Jersey Devil through and through. And he wants to coach. Like, we have Scott Stevens that's around. We have Danico that's still around, but they may not want to coach like Breland wants to coach. And that's going to be the big thing there. Like, having him around and telling him like, yeah, this is what you got to do. This is what we did back then. You can put your spin on that however you wish, but Breland's done it, and he still has it. And I think that's the players may take more than that after seeing a shot like that. They may take him more seriously, knowing that he's not all just talk. Like, he actually has, the skills.
He has the hardware.
A lot of these guys are so young. They don't remember seeing Breland play, so they don't know what who Sergei Breland was. But seeing a shot like that in practice, it's like an eye opener. I'm sure Billy Dean, experienced this too. I experienced it with the high school kids I coached. It was when I went on the ice here and actually stuff with the hotheads. I actually knew you can do it, not just. So,
oh, that part of the conversation censored by the censors from above. Doesn't want to give away too much about his high school career.
Jeez, Shorts guy with the language all of a sudden. I'm sorry, folks. we had to bleep a lot of that out there.
Yeah, that was.
Sorry, guys.
By my beautiful, my beautiful Optimum internet.
Yeah. Hey, well, according to Amanda Stein, this morning's pairings. So I'm going to read this off, and obviously this is without Nico Hischier, so it would change a little bit. But we had on the front line or the top line, we had Palat, Hughes, and Holtz, the H2O line. On the second line, we had Tatar, Mercer, and Bratt, which obviously the second line would change dramatically. But there's something I want to talk about in Tatar in a minute. Sharangovich, Halla, and Zutterland for the third line. Wood, McLeod, and Bastian would be your fourth line, and then Boquist and Janssen are your extra skaters on the forward group. Defensive pairing was Siegenthaler and Hamilton, Graves and Marino. Ooh, that sounds very good. Smith and Severson, and Ball and Nemec for the extra skaters in the fourth pairing on defense. and then Blackwood and Vanacek in goal. I wanted to bring up Tatar because I feel like he is going to be a man on a mission this year, and I feel like you're going to see a more improved Thomas Tatar, a guy that was very coveted when he was with the Montreal Canadiens, and somebody that what was it? The Vegas Golden Knights gave up a boatload just to get him.
Mm-hmm.
Was it the Vegas Knights that gave up a bunch, or was it the Canadiens that gave up a bunch to get him? I can't remember. Somebody gave up like a first round. It was like crazy for Tatar.
Don't matter.
It was Vegas.
It was
yeah,
Vegas,
and then they tried to trade him to LA in a salary dump and got screwed with that one. But yeah, it was a very smart move.
But I feel like he's one of those players that's on a redemption tour. I feel like there's a lot of guys, Blackwood, Tatar, in a lesser extent, Severson in a prove-it year because he's in a contract year. There's a lot of guys that have something to prove. But I feel like Tatar being on the second line is not a bad idea. Although that Sharangovich, Hollis, Zetterlund line as a third pairing is pretty interesting.
Kind of liked Miles Wood up on that third line, but either way, the thing about Tatar, just because you were just talking about it, the thing that worries me about Thomas Tatar is not that he's, on the final year of his contract, not that he's a little bit older and that he is going to be looking to prove something and hopefully have a good year. The thing that worries me is he had a really good preseason, which probably means he was playing his ass off in these preseason games when everyone else is, going half speed, or it's someone that's going to end up in the AHL.
Mm-hmm.
So when the actual NHL kicks off and Thomas Tatar has already been going full speed, and now all of a sudden everyone else kicks it up a notch, is that going to, show its face, basically, in that situation?
Yeah. I mean, that's the hope, is that he's finally kind of regained his confidence and he's going to be playing. And he, by all accounts, he was saying that he was pissed off last year and that he was not happy with his game, and he was, he feels revitalized coming into this season. So, I mean, that's the hope. That's what you can hope for. You take a guy at his word, and that's all you can do right now until it's like, prove it. All right, so good. Don't talk the talk, walk the walk. Go out there and do what you have to do.
Well, he's got to prove it. He had 15 and 15 last year. 15 goals, 15 assists. So he had 30 points. You think he's going to top 40, 45 this year?
I'll top 40, because you can't do 15 and 15.
40?
It's not going to cut it. 15 and 15 is not going to cut it.
No.
This team, you have to have a lot of guys on this team actually step up past this point. You have Hughes, who should be pushing 75 plus. You have Bratt, who could be pushing 75 plus. You have Nico, who could be pushing 65 plus. You have guys that need to take that extra step. You have Sharangovich, who could be putting up maybe 30 goals this year. Don't get hot in the middle of January. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And start.
Yeah.
And
well, is it a good idea to put him down on the third line then? Don't you want him up on that second line with a Bratt and with Nico when he comes back? So maybe Bratt and Sharangovich can really start to get some chemistry together, because he's got a nasty shot. You want to put Tatar there, or do you want to put Sharangovich there? That's the question, I guess, that it comes down to.
I want to put whoever's going to be the most consistent output in that spot. So one of those two has to prove that they're going to be consistently putting out, offensive, just putting out offense. That's who goes in that spot. So they both have to step up and prove it if they can do it.
And that prove it is huge, right? So that prove it is Sharangovich is on a prove it year this year too. I think he's only on a one year deal. I don't know. What are you giggling about over there?
You did one of those. Yeah.
Yeah. What? Dude, listen. I know. Shorts guy. Were you at the game today?
Yes, I was.
All right. So Shorts guy was at the game today. I was at Oktoberfest today. Scotty, you're
Oh,
probably
boy.
the only one that's relatively lucid here. So,
Hmm.
yeah. So you'll get a lot of like, yeah, that sounds good. That's a good.
I'm lucky I have a voice. I'm lucky I have
I
a
can
voice, and I'm lucky
tell.
I'm awake at
I
this
can
point.
tell.
Well,
Can I ask a quick
'cause-
question?
Yeah, go ahead. Wait, me or Scotty?
So you.
Yeah.
So where are the Red Bulls in the season? Like, are you in the playoffs right now, or are you getting close to the playoffs right now? Like, where is it in the season right now for you?
Today was the last regular season match, and playoffs are next week. So we're just waiting for day and a time next week. They actually have a home playoff match, which I found out today that the head coach or the Red Bulls front office did what Lou used to do in the playoffs, because the Red Bulls have been so much better on the road that for this match that they had to win today, they actually put the entire team up in the hotel the night before to make it seem like a road playoff match. And
That's a good idea.
As soon as I heard that, I was like, oh man, that was Lou's thing. Like, as soon as game one of the playoffs started, like the team was in a hotel from start to finish. So made sense to me, and it worked. It must have worked because they won 2-0 today. So now we just got to see what happens next week.
There you go.
But it's, we'll find out. It may be a double game day for me next Saturday.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I tell you what, I miss the days of the Devils being relevant going into the playoffs, where you would hear stories of Lou doing those things and like the team getting ready. But I truly and it's not just us. Like, I know we're obviously biased here because of, we're fans of the team, but there's people out there that are saying the Devils could be a 95 win team. Does that get them into playoffs? I don't know, because the Metro's pretty good.
95 wins?
You look at
In an
That's
82 game
impossible.
season?
not 95
I
wins,
think that'll
95
do it.
points. 95 points.
I think that'll do
95
it.
They'll find a
Uh,
couple extra wins. They'll find a couple extra. They'll go
Would you-
undefeated, and then they'll win a few playoff games, but come up short apparently.
Beer Baron, would you like would you like
82
this
plus
information? Would you like this information in colors and shapes? Would that help you understand it a little better?
No, throw it in the history book, and I'll be able to read about it and maybe learn a little bit about what happened in the past. Now I know why you love the Lou days, because you live in the past.
Our teachers can read.
No, not really.
Oh boy,
I can barely
we're gonna have
put
teacher
words
war
together.
over here.
Teacher war.
Oh lordy.
But anyways, yeah, like I hope that this team, opening night, it's the first 10 games are a good measuring stick. What was it Lou used to do? Is the first 10
games at a
and then the
time.
next 10 games at a time. So you kind of get a measuring stick of like where the team could possibly be. So you hope they come out of the gate firing on all cylinders, and I don't know. I'm looking up their schedule for their first 10 to see how it's looking. So
I mean, we got some
go
tough
ahead,
teams in
Scotty.
our division, obviously.
Yeah,
So
we
it's gonna be difficult. I'm thinking the team is gonna be how I originally was thinking they were gonna be last year, and I think they're gonna be pushing. I think they're gonna be on the bubble to get in as a lower seed. I don't know if they're actually gonna make it. I don't know if it's gonna go down to the wire, but I think at some point close to the end of the season, the Devils are gonna be in the playoff hunt, so to speak. That's what I think with this team. If, and this is a big if they can stay healthy.
Yeah.
This team looks drastically different already just without Nico Hischier in the lineup. So they got to stay healthy.
Has there been any updates on him or no?
I don't believe so.
He says he's feeling better, and then the coach, you know how it is. It's NHL talk. He feels better. He's like walking around in a full body cast, and they're like, he's all right. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. It's just a scratch, just a flesh wound. Just a flesh wound.
Yeah, he's in the boat. He's walking around in a boat. That'll be fine.
He's in a boot. He's in a boot. The first 10 games, they have Philadelphia, Detroit, Anaheim, the Islanders, the Sharks, Washington, Detroit, Colorado, Columbus, and Vancouver. They make
Where's that
early
Sharks?
West...
Is that home or away?
Dude, this is the weirdest. Sharks is home. But here's the weird thing about this West Coast swing. They're doing a Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary West Coast swing in the beginning of the year. They're not going to Seattle, which is kind of weird because if you're going to do that West Coast it would make sense to go to Seattle, Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary. But I guess whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They'll stick that Seattle game away. Will probably be lumped in with the California games. But they have six out of those 10 are at home in the beginning of the year. The furthest that they're going to go away is Detroit. And Philadelphia and the Islanders. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The furthest they'll go is Vancouver, but that's the 10th game. But in the early part of this, the furthest they'll go away is Detroit, and Philadelphia and New York. They're not really that far away, so they're staying relatively close to home. You hope that they can get a good start to the beginning of the season because they have a lot of that home, not home field advantage, but they have a lot of games where they're not going to have to travel that much.
Real quick for you, per Amanda Stein, New Jersey Devils coach Lindy Ruff said forward, Nico Hischier has been working out and had no other update. So there you go.
I've been working out too, and that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I worked out earlier today. What do you know?
12-ounce curls.
Yeah.
And a 1 and a 2.
No, that's gonna start happening in about 2.5 innings here. But yeah, no, I mean, it doesn't say if he's working out upper body, lower body, if there's any
or if
sort
he's
of
working
issue,
out on the ice.
Yeah, or if he's on the ice, really nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
So, whoops-a-daisy. No update.
So what I kind of like about this opening schedule is we have a bunch of games at home, but then at the very beginning of November, going on the road like that gives them an opportunity to get the team away and get the team just, basically with the team, which could be very good for them as a sort of a team bonding type of situation. So it seems to be a really good opportunity to be away and just kind of focus on the team and kind of look at it from that angle. So I like that. I kind of like how that's set up. You get a good look at through the first 9 games. Only 2 of them are short away trips, and then you get to go away on the road, and you get to have the team just be around the team. From game 10, 11, and 12, which seems almost like a perfect situation too.
Mm-hmm. It's I feel like that the team going into the season is going to be good, but Scotty nailed it on the head before. It's all about health, right?
Yeah.
Without Nico, they feel like a different team. But remember what happened when Jack got hurt in the second game. The team felt like it was going in a certain direction, and Jack felt like he was going to start off the year hot, and boom, second game, what is that? First period, not even halfway through the first period, he got thrown onto his shoulder. And,
feels naked without Nico. That's what, according to our friend Steven there on YouTube.
It does. It's like showing up without pants on. But yeah, I don't disagree with that. It does feel weird without, and especially because that's your captain too. It's not like he's just another forward. That's your captain. So that also puts it a weird kind of. Usually they're going to roll with 2 assistant captains. Are you going to roll with 3 until Nico's back? How long is he going to be out? Is it going to be one of those?
Better be short because I drafted him. I drafted him on my fantasy team. It better not be long.
Well, I don't know. Did I draft him a part of the red squad?
As long as possible. As long as possible.
Shut up over there, you. That blue shirt.
No. Not because of the Rangers aspect, because of the fantasy aspect.
Oh,
I think we're gonna be battling. No. So I did have a question for you guys.
For the bottom of the league?
Yeah, for the bottom of the league, yeah. I did have a question for you guys. So, an outsider's perspective, Blackwood, Vanacek, and then you have Bernier. Does Bernier stand any chance? And then my second question is, you have Ball and Nemec as that, 7-8 defenseman right now. Which one do you guys think makes it? And are you guys? Would you be upset if it wasn't Ball, considering he's more ready, and Simon Nemec can obviously go back to minors?
Yeah, I think it's got to be Ball, just because Nemec, you're going to want him to play every night. Just let him go to the AHL and play. He's not going to crack this line. You look at the Devils' top 6 there with Smith, Severson, Marino, Graves, Siegenthaler, Dougie. I mean, maybe Brendan Smith comes out every now and then, but not on a regular basis, I don't think, right now. So maybe you could swap Ball in and out, see how it goes. But Nemec's, I think, would be better if he's back down at the AHL just playing. And as far as goaltending goes, I think Bernier's there. They're just hoping Blackwood, cleans it up and can make his way through. And if he doesn't, then I think they're going to rely on Vanacek, and maybe Bernier can come back as in a backup capacity. But we talked about it the other day on Devils After Dark after the Bruins game. Vanacek, what the Devils need is they need players to step up and start making those big plays. And after the Devils scored, they gave up a real quick 2-on-1, and Vanacek made the save.
Yeah.
That was the save. We needed our goaltender to come up big at some point, and the last, I don't know how many years, it hasn't happened. It just hasn't happened. And all of a sudden, he makes that save. That's the one that sparks the team. Sharon Govich, when the stick break happened, and he was just gifted a wide-open shot right there in the center, he buried it. There's been far too many times where we rang it off the post. We just missed the net completely. Like, those opportunities were not taken advantage of. We need players, and I think we're starting to have players that can take advantage of those game-turning opportunities, and that's the difference between being in the playoff push and being, top 3 for the draft again next year,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like Vanacek is he wants to push for that number 1. It's not like he's like, okay, I'm here to be the backup. I feel like he feels like he's ready to be the number 1. And by a lot of the things that he's saying, he just gave an interview recently where he said, it's the way the NHL is now, you need to have 2 goaltenders. And if you could have Blackwood playing at his highest potential, which we've seen flashes of, and we all agree, he could be a number 1. And when Blackwood was emerging, and remember there was the whole who's better, Hart or Blackwood, and Blackwood was being considered for the Olympic team.
That was going to be a matchup for years to come. That Blackwood Hart matchup.
Exactly, and it was we all saw what he could be, and we were excited because that was all right, finally we have the heir apparent to Marty, and Schneider didn't really get a fair shake in certain aspects because he didn't have the team that he needed in front of him. And then when he had the team, he wasn't healthy enough to carry it.
Yeah.
And Blackwood came in and we're all right, here we go. But then things kind of fell apart. And now it's almost like he's in a position where he might not, some people might think oh, well, he's the automatic number 1. He has to prove it. He has to be able to provide the goaltending that he did when he was at his peak. And now you have somebody that's going to legitimately push him for that number 1 spot. Bernier is a great goalie. Don't get me wrong, but he was always going to be a backup. He was never going to be the legitimate number 1. Vanacek was traded for because he has the ability and he has the, the potential to be this straight up number 1. So I think it's a good thing that competition hopefully will drive Blackwood to be back to what he is. And if he's not, guess what? Cool. We have Vanacek, who during this preseason, it's not like, hey, oh yeah, he should be okay. During the preseason, he was really proving himself to be okay, this guy could be the answer. So if that's a sustainable long run, let's hope.
I think Blackwood, if he doesn't play well, you're going to see the change of scenery trade propositions, start popping up here and there and everywhere.
Toronto Nylander needs a new home.
And and you're going to see some movement, I think, if he doesn't pan out, because it's been long enough here. And we've seen some others, like our friend Pavel Zacha, that they had to say goodbye to. Andreas Janssen, sorry, gonna go down to the AHL on waivers.
Yeah. That's just the nature of the business. personally, I think that it's Vanacek's net at this point, and Blackwood's got to prove why he needs to unseat Vanacek. And I said that to you guys earlier this week that I'm already, seeing that. Blackwood has to push himself to unseat Vanacek, which, if they're a good combo together, could be something absolutely awesome for the Devils. Now it's just a matter of if that's the case, and also if Blackwood's going to rise to and do that. So, but right now Vanacek is as far as I'm concerned the goalie. Blackwood has to unseat him because Vanacek's looked great.
Wow.
And I know that there have been some nights where Blackwood has had the weaker of the teams in front of him, but I still think it's Vanacek.
Well, can I ask you a question? You say that Vanacek is now the number one, but I don't know if it's just because he's been here longer that it seems like Blackwood is the number one. What gives you the indication that you think that he's going to be? Let me rephrase this. Do you think that he is going to be? Do you think he's going to be the starting goaltender opening night?
Vanacek, yes.
Vanacek.
I think Vanacek is going to be, and I'm just basing this off of what I've seen as far as the two of them playing. I just think Vanacek looks like the more confident of the two goaltenders.
Boy. Yeah.
Sorry, I got distracted because something came across the wire about Ian Cole of the Lightning.
Yeah, no, I saw that too real quick. I saw that too
he's
real
been
quick.
suspended. Ian Cole of the Lightning has been suspended pending investigation into alleged allegations he sexually abused a woman when she was a minor. That's not good.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
No.
Back to Devils goaltending. Vanacek looks like the more confident. That's okay. Well, they're showing a chicken on television. They're not showing a squirrel, which would be much better. Vanacek just looks like the more confident goaltender of the two. It's just what I've seen in the play between the two of them. Blackwood's had some great, like that period against the Rangers where he made 17 saves. That was a great period, but at the same time, I don't know. There's something about Vanacek's play and just what he's done so far, and it's a what have you done for me lately league. So I know that Mac Black has the seniority, if you want to call it technically, but if
I don't know
Vanacek's
if that
playing
means
better,
anything though. Like, why would just because Blackwood has been here for a couple years? Like, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't even see why that would matter. I think it should matter.
And
who's playing.
I'm just, and that's the way that I see it. And I think that there probably are some people out there that think that this is, that Mac Black should finally have it because he's still here. But it's definitely Vanacek at this point, to me, looks like the better of the two and the more confident of the two goaltenders, which is really what you want. You want a goaltender that's playing well and a goaltender that's confident. And what Blackwood has to do is he has to take this opportunity to up his game in order to prove that he, could belong as a starter.
They gave Blackwood a lot of opportunity, definitely in the preseason to get himself.
Oh no, they did.
But even in the Boston game, though, I mean, there were two very, very bad misplays. Just freezing the puck. He fumbled another rebound as well. Like, I don't know. It's just sometimes it feels like his head is not in the game. Yeah, it's odd.
He openly admitted that he was fragile mentally. He was fragile, and I mean, I think you can't discredit how a simple thing like, oh man, I like, it's not that your head's not in a game. It's just that you're in your own head, how much that it can affect you. I mean, a Shorts guy could attest to this more than any of us here, that you could have a game where you were lights out and you're not thinking, and you're going out there and you're just doing what you have to do, and then you could have a game where you let up one soft goal and it gets in your head, and then boom, all of a sudden you're in trouble because you can't get past that moment. And I mean, it's natural, but it's like it's also a mental block that maybe it's something that that he can't.
He's been
get
here
over,
for like
but,
3 or 4 years now. How long is this?
Yeah, but
how long is it?
But the thing is now at least we have Vanacek to be like, okay, well, if you can't get through this, all right, good. At least we have somebody that we can lean on. Go ahead, Billy Dean.
You know,
I was gonna say it's like
What do you
4
got for us,
soft goals
Dean?
for shorts guy, but so
yeah, yeah.
all right. So
when your
here's my
defenseman, when your defenseman turns and fires the puck at you when you're not expecting it, instead of rimming it
so
around
jerk
the
is
end.
that?
The end boards.
All right. So,
Who would do
I don't know
such a
what
thing?
jerk that is.
Seriously,
All right,
what a
so
jerk.
over under, couple over unders for you guys. Let me know what you think. Jack Hughes, 70 games. Bratt, 70 points. Dougie Hamilton, 55 points. And Alexander Holtz, 20 goals.
I'm going to say over, under. I think Holtz only gets about 15, but he gets 15 solid ones.
I think over, under. I think that's
That's where I
how
was
it'll
going.
go.
Over, under, and under.
I'm hoping Jack Hughes definitely
if
plays
Dougie-
more than
dude,
70 games.
But if
'Cause
Dougie stays healthy all year, I could see him breaking 50 points easily.
It's 55. He said 55.
55.
I can see him more in the 40 to 45 range this year. I don't know if he's got to go goal crazy to get it.
By the way,
can see him maybe.
I love Billy Dean throwing us some material like in the middle of it because he knows that we're scatterbrains and we like to go way off the rails and keeping us on course. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. Billy
I
Dean,
was
you
gonna
have
say,
no idea.
You see what I deal with on Mondays, so this is easy stuff.
Oh yeah, well, you deal with 3 children. You deal with 3 children and 2 cats. Sometimes 3 cats on Mondays.
Oh boy.
dude.
Well, yeah, and I think Jesper
Jack-
Bratt in this prove it year for him and his contract, he's betting on Bratt. You know, he's betting on himself out there. I think he's gonna be a man on the mission as well. I can see him being over 70 points again. Dougie, like I said, I think he would have to get like goal crazy, and I don't know if he's gonna get goal crazy.
I don't think it's
this
goal
year.
crazy. I don't think it's goal crazy. I think it's just assists. I think Dougie
You think he's just
Hamilton,
gonna have? You think he's gonna have like
Listen.
45, 50 assists?
I think, in all honesty, it's not. You got pushed out. I think, all honesty, Dougie Hamilton at 55 points is not a stretch. I think he could easily. I think he could easily hit that and maybe even pass it. But if you look at Jack playing 70 games, oh man, you're gonna let him rest a few here and there because it's not like the old school NHL where guys are playing a full 82, except if you're Dawson Mercer. So he'll have
Jack
a couple of games.
I think.
I hope he'll be fun. I hope he will. I hope he plays a full 82 plus going into the playoffs. But I think if he does, he could put up some electric numbers this year. And I think Jesper Bratt will benefit from that. So that's
another
70,
thing. If
the 70
if
plus
Jack's in the
points for
lineup,
Bratt,
teams are gonna game plan for him, and that's gonna open up stuff for Jesper Bratt as well.
Oh, big time.
But we saw what was going on with Jack when he was at his finest last year. When he was feeling good, he was at 1.5 plus per game. I mean, he was ripping and rolling out there, ripping and tearing out there. And the thing about it is, like, guys like Jesper they will benefit. I think Andre Palat will 100% benefit. And like Holtz, I didn't want to put the over on that 20 point or a 20 goal because that's asking a lot of this kid. And you just want to see him have I want to see Holtz have a mature season. meaning like
he could do it.
He's being consistent on the ice. He's not going to be an anchor on that line. Like if you keep that Holtz, Palat, and Hughes line together, he's not going to be an anchor on that line where you're like, oh God, if he could just pick up his play, this line could be so good. You don't want him to hold that line back. So you just want to see him be productive. I don't care if he's dude, I'd rather have him have like 40 assists and 10 goals. That would be a hell of a season for him. You know, you put up 50 points, but most of it is assists. Perfect. Good. Great. I love it. That means like you're helping your team win. Like don't go out there and try to put up 20 goals, but like have 20 goals and 15 assists for 35 points. Like don't pull something like that. Like who cares? Like yeah, you're scoring, but at the same time, like how are you as a line mate? How are you working as functionally as a line? That's what's important.
Okay. I heard Ty Smith got sent down over there in Pittsburgh, huh?
Get out of here. Are you serious?
That's what our friend old Bacha Galoop tells me on the YouTube page.
Galoop. Oh, how you doing?
I think everyone also agrees that Blackwood's got a ton to prove here.
Big time. It's
got
going to be his.
It's make it or break it right now, and that's what
Exactly.
Bernier is there for. Because if he stumbles,
Yes.
then you try to trade him, and then you have Bernier that can come in there and play with Vanacek.
Absolutely, and I think that would be a decent combo as well. I mean, I would love to see Mac Black do well, and have have a great goaltending duo. But that's on him, and he's had some rough seasons the last couple seasons. And he's just got to claw himself out of it and get back to that goaltender that we all saw, and we were all like, "Oh crap, this guy's it." That's the goalie we want to see come back, but that's up to him. He's got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what though? Those prove it years they're scary in two ways because it's like either the guy's not going to step up and be who he is. Or you get these people that play out of their absolute mind, and you're like, yes, we got him. And then the next year they're like, womp, and like take a complete dump on the ice. It's true though, right? You see guys go out in a prove it year, and they throw together a monster season, and you're like, yes, okay, finally they're here to stay. And then they get their deal, and then they completely dump the bed. And you're like, oh, all right. I guess.
Wait, is it the bed or the ice? Which one? Or is the bed on the ice?
Yes. They're dumping on the bed. They're dumping on the ice. They're dumping everywhere, man. What happened? This guy's dumping everywhere. I can't help you. He was in a prove it year. Just dump everywhere. Sounds like yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon. But anyways.
Oh, man. Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
But yeah, listen, I hope that – but here's the other thing, too, that I think is a good scenario. And I think what Fitzgerald has been trying to do since he went after Crawford. The initial thought with Crawford and Blackwood was like, okay, Blackwood is your number one. He starts to kind of, need a break. You have somebody in Crawford who's experienced and you can throw him right in the net and you shouldn't miss a beat, right? Like you shouldn't have to worry about goaltending. It should be kind of like, all right, well, that part of the game is situated. Let's work on defense and forwards and that should be it. Crawford took a dump and then, Exactly.
Oh, wow.
He had zero beefalytics. He couldn't hang.
Is Sam back from the Mets game early? Is that what's going on over there?
It wouldn't surprise me with the way the score is.
I found Sam's magic buttons, so I'm.
There you go. It was a beef. Those beefalytics.
But they're probably all unlabeled. You just have to randomly choose and
just choose one. The next one's going to be like the Titanic.
Hope it's the right one. Yeah.
But yeah, it didn't work with Crawford, and then you thought it was going to work. When they went out and got who the hell was the other guy that they went out and got out that didn't work? Come on, my brain just hit
Wedgwood.
No, not Wedgwood.
Didn't work.
Not
Andrew,
Louis Domingue.
The Hamburglar.
No, not him either. No, who was that? Who's that? The big goaltending acquisition that they got after
Bernier.
Was it
Bernier?
Jesus Christ, is that really it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there
Yeah.
you go. And that didn't work out last year either. So
No, it didn't.
And again, whoever's been scouting the goaltending, which I think has been Clemenson. It's
yeah.
not
You know what he's doing?
not
He's going like this. He's
not
like,
good.
maybe they'll have to use me in goal if I just keep using these bad goals.
Meanwhile, he
I got
forgets to
another
throw
run in
doors
me,
up
I
the
know it.
offices, too.
He's dusting off the old pads. Hey, coach,
Yeah.
look what I did. They were just in my car. I don't know how this happened. Sorry about Crawford and Burnley.
And still,
Who knew
they
they
never
needed
gave Shorts Guy
surgery?
a call.
Yeah, that's
And
bullcrap.
Shorts Guy never got a call.
Well, goaltending is going to be huge for them, and with Blackwood, like I was talking about earlier, we've seen so many times where he didn't make the save that you need your goaltender to make every now and then. You know, that high elite play that we see from the forwards and we see from the defensemen time and time again, but we were not getting that from our goaltender for quite some time. So Blackwood had his moments. Can he put it together, though? That's what we haven't seen.
He has moments,
haven't
but he's
seen.
not consistent.
But let me tell you, even in the preseason, the goaltending has been a lot better. I will say that.
Oh, no,
I don't
it
know if
absolutely
that's
has.
just.
Way better.
I don't know if it's just
Except
for
for that
Vanacek
one-
being around.
Except for that one Islander game, and that was Blackwood, right? Blackwood had a pretty rough game, but he also had an AHL team in front of him. I mean, Graves was playing. You had a couple guys that your starters out there, but for the most part, it was
It's
pretty rough.
preseason. It's preseason.
Preseason.
We just don't want to get burned so bad because we've been burned so bad for so many years now. It's just like, what's going on? But having Vanacek back there, having that, he had a shutout on the one right against Boston. I think the one that they won 1-0. Where
1-0. 1-0. Yeah.
And that's a scoreline we haven't
Just
seen
see
in our
that.
favor in a long time.
Yeah,
exactly. Right? We've seen so many of those close games go against us. All those 1 and 2 1-goal games. We lose so many of them because the goaltending couldn't make the save. Couldn't make that above average play.
You see that,
need.
or the Devils score a timely goal, and literally 30
and
seconds
immediately
later,
give one up.
You're like, yeah, and being at a game, you're like, yes, you're high-fiving dudes, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna sit down and just be miserable.
And hopefully McGill changes that. It does seem like the defense seems a lot tighter, even in the preseason. I think we got 6 really good guys there.
I think we have 6 look, bringing in Marino, and especially if that report about Ty Smith is true. Thanks, Pittsburgh, for either
John, don't call me Dan, isotoner gloves, laces out, Marino.
Yes. What are you chewing there, Scotty? Gum. None of your.
That's none of your damn business, Dan.
Got any more of that gum? That's what you say. Got any more of that gum?
Got any more of that gum?
Got any more of that
Well, we
gum?
need to be able to do
None of your
football
damn
calls
business.
on Devils After Dark. So we had to get a football thing going now that Andre Janssen, is not going to be around probably.
Well, he made it through waivers, which was that was something I wanted to bring up before the end of the show today. Is were either of you surprised that Janssen made it all the way through waivers? But so my question, I asked this in the group text. Billy Dean, maybe you can answer this too. If a team picks up somebody on waivers, does the team if somebody picked up Andre Janssen on waivers, would the Devils have to retain part of his salary? I'll wait for the answer. I could have sworn. Go ahead.
From what I know, no, they don't. So
don't?
that salary is picked up by the new team. Yeah,
by the new team.
So
yeah.
it's like a salary.
Well, then
Now, what I also heard is someone could pick up a guy off of waivers and then actually put them into their minors. They don't have to put them onto their major league team, to the NHL team.
Ooh.
You could actually store them in the minors.
But it makes
But you
sense
gotta
that nobody
pick up
would
their
go after
salary.
Janssen because of his
Yes.
salary. 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's going to be
So
tough.
I-
Unless you're the Arizona Coyotes trying to
which we've been trying to give him away to them for 2 years now.
Yeah, look what we had to do for
yeah.
Nemeth. We had to give up a second-round pick to get rid of that shitty contract. So
Yeah, but that's the thing is like, I look at the situation where Jansson's in. He's not a bad player. Like he has streaks where he could be very useful, but I guess this is the Devils. This is
what we like. Streaky players, really.
Streaky players, really good. But I
had.
guess this is where the Devils are at, where they're like, okay, well, we know what we have in that player. Let's take a good hard look at Zetterlund and Boquist. Because if you put those guys through waivers, there's 100% chance the team's going to pick them up. And I rather
they're not making it.
They're not going to make it through waivers, 100%.
Yeah,
because first of all, their contracts are super like, oh wow, that's very friendly. Now, what are you making less than minimum wage? All right, thanks. Here's the burger fryer over here, and here's the ice over there. You choose.
Aren't they both still RFAs and stuff? Like I have to look at Cap Friendly to get all the exact information, but I mean, those two guys would never make it through waivers. Someone would snatch them up like old Studenich there when the Dallas Stars. Old
How could you let him
there.
go?
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to make a move and hope nobody pays attention. If I put him through
Boquist
waivers now,
yeah, right. Boquist is someone who didn't really impress me that much during the preseason. In the games that he got and the time he got, the last game he had some hustle there, but overall, I wasn't really impressed with him. And it's kind of odd, being that you're fighting for this position. I don't know. I didn't see Zetterlund. I saw a lot of hustle and a lot of grit.
Dude, Zetterlund's
saw
also
some playmaking happening.
That dude's
what's that?
Zetterlund's a monster. That dude's huge.
He's like a brick wall. I like that. Like that idea of having more guys like that on the team that can skate fast, that can hit hard.
Yeah.
That can take a shot or two.
Hey, listen, I don't know if I think Boquist has had a decent amount of opportunity in the last couple of years, right?
Yeah.
Same shorts guy. I don't know if I think Zetterlund needs an opportunity. If we're going to lose either of the two of them, not to say that I would want to lose one, but I would part with Boquist over Zetterlund, even though Boquist
don't part with either of them right now.
I don't want to. I'm not saying I want to. And I know Boquist started showing signs of life. Yeah, he showed signs of life last year, but I feel like he's gotten more of a shot, and he needs to, go dump or get off the pot. And Zetterlund, I feel like hasn't had as much of a shot in the big club. So go dump or get off the pot. But I don't know.
Oh, dump on the ice.
This guy's been dumping on the ice. Been dumping the bed.
Oh man. All right, well, let's wrap up the show here. Let's do some final thoughts as we get ready for the Devils to start the regular season on Thursday. We'll be doing Game Day Live. We'll be Devils After Dark. Sam Woo's going to be down there at Chickies and Pete's in Philadelphia. Then comes Saturday, home opener. Going to have a nice party at American Whiskey.
Yeah.
Big show. Going to have a lot of fun. Woo! Right across the street from the arena. It's going to be an amazing time. It's a great bar, and we're parked right in the front. Can't miss us. Right when you walk in, you'll be able to see us. So, yeah, it's going to be amazing. We got plenty of programming coming up this week as well. Billy Dean and the boys will be back tomorrow for Hockey on Tap. Maybe Sam Woo would do a nice Woo report here and there. Game Day Live, of course, on Thursday with Vinny Parisi and Sam Woo, and then I'll be back for Devils After Dark post-game style, hopefully celebrating a Devils victory. Even though I don't want to ask this right now, but I'll do it anyway, just because, Billy, you're a cool guy. When does the Rangers season start? What day?
Rangers start on Tuesday. They play Tuesday. They play the Lightning, game 1. First
Oh,
game
they
of
play the
the
Lightning. Ooh.
technical.
Oh, that's
First game
right.
of the technical
Rangers
season
South,
minus
Rangers
the,
North versus Rangers South.
Rangers.
Actually, if you look at it, Carolina's more of Rangers South now. It's ridiculous.
Now
how
they
many,
are, yeah.
Former Rangers are in
That's
Carolina.
right. I forgot. I've been seeing the commercials there on ESPN Plus and stuff for it. All right, so
that'll be good.
Tuesday night, that'll be cool. A Rangers kickoff. Sorry, Billy. Hopefully, would have lost, but we'll see how that goes.
Nice way to slide that in there. Nice way to slide.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you.
And obviously, you'll be rooting for the Devils because you'd want to see the Flyers lose. So, I understand, Billy. Thank you for your support. We appreciate
Ooh,
it.
that's a hard place to be in. I'd root
that's
against the
rough.
Flyers. I'd root against the
I know that the
Flyers.
Flyers are going to suck just as much on their own, so I don't know if I necessarily have to root against them.
that might
That's
be
so
true.
true.
That definitely might be true.
Oh man, the
We'll
Flyers.
have
and we
a
were
whole
talking
bunch
about
of
it. Sorry, I was just saying the Flyers. We were talking about it real fast. That can you think of a team that's addressed their weaknesses worse in an offseason? They let go of Oscar Lindblom, who really was the good solid point to look at on their team. They bring in the shithead in Tony D'Angelo, one of the just asinine coaches in John Tortorella, and then
I think that's
lose
his burner,
two of the better players for the rest of the
actually.
season.
Well, you know what's funny is about bringing in Tortorella is that he's done nothing but make fun of his own team like the entire offseason. And basically call them out nonstop. And basically
Great
he
press
goes,
conferences.
Yes.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
I said it before and I'll say it again. Someone has to hire Larry Brooks to come down per diem for Flyer home
Oh
games
God, wouldn't that be
just
great?
to ask one question. Just
We
the
can all
most
agree.
annoying question.
We can all agree that this is not the team we want Connor Bedard to go to next year. So
No, God,
Flyers
please,
have to
no.
get enough wins to not
Come
get that.
on. You know they
Yes.
will though. You know they will because you know Tortorella won't let them lose enough games to finish dead last. Like
Yeah.
he'll coach them up enough where they'll win they'll beat like Detroit and they'll beat the whatever teams. I think Bedard's going to end up going to Anaheim or something like that. I think Anaheim's going to have a bad year.
If Bettman really wanted to make the NHL and his baby in Arizona work, he would have the Cardinals. He would have the Coyotes
Cardinals.
win the number one pick and have Bedard go there for a little bit.
He
Oh,
will.
Wait,
and
have him
what?
play
Play
at
at
the
the
College
Sun Devil
Arena?
Stadium?
Yeah,
Yeah.
College Arena for 3 seasons or 5 seasons, and then
No,
he'd
you know
probably leave.
You know what they'll do? You know what they should do is they should if he goes to if the Coyotes get the number one pick, they get moved to Quebec. They're like, this is a joke. Cut the cord already. It's a joke. The state doesn't want you there. Nobody wants you there. Go back to Quebec. Bring back the Nordiques and just be done with it. But anyways, my final thoughts: ESPN Plus and Hulu are going to have the Devils game on Thursday night, and you know what? Comcast, you can take it and shove it up where the sun don't shine, you bums, because they still don't have MSG figured out. I don't know what the
I
heck
think that
that's
will be
going
blacked
on.
out in your area, sir. So
No,
sorry to
no,
inform
no,
you
no,
about
no.
that.
No, it's the only
It
place
won't.
that's available.
Yeah, it's the only place that's available.
Mhm.
I'm excited for the season to start. I can't wait for everything to get going. All I know is I'm pumped to be at the game on Saturday. It's going to be a fun time at American Whiskey. I'm excited for the new venue. I'm excited for the new season. I can't wait to get a new hat. I'm going to go to the Devil's Den, my yearly tradition of buying a new hat. Yeah, dude, I just
Oh,
can't
should
wait for
ask
the
that.
season.
Do you have any opening
What's
day
that?
traditions?
That's my opening. Well, typically is, but last year they didn't have any good hats, and I'm like, I'm not dropping $30 for something I hate. So maybe that's why I had such a stinker of a season. But it's true though. I'm not gonna, dude. I'll buy a good hat. But anyways, yeah, I'm excited. American Whiskey is gonna be a good time, dude. That place looks super cool. I'm right across the street from Devil's Den. Gonna be a bumping good old fashioned time. So let's get the season going. Let's get this. Let's get hockey back and up and rolling.
Yeah, Hockey on Tap could actually debut for you guys at American Whiskey. We'll see.
Hell yeah, that'd be awesome.
Very nice. Very cool. My final thought is health. Just stay healthy.
Health.
Going into the season, just stay healthy. That's all. Like we said, I want to see that over on Jack Hughes playing 70 games this year, which would probably lead
100%.
to an over for 70 points to Jesper Bratt on that second line.
Yeah.
And
Dougie Hamilton.
Quite a powerful force. A powerful 1-2 there. Those two lines going out there if they're healthy. So stay healthy, boys.
My final thought is I'm just excited that we're here at opening night, and then the home opener next week on Saturday is going to be a blast. So that's my final thought. I'm looking forward to that.
My final thought is thank you guys for having me, and I might as well
thank
say
you.
the Rangers.
No, you son! You were going to try and fit it in there. How dare you?
Thank you, Billy.
Dude, Billy
Been
Dean,
great.
anytime, man. Anytime you want to come on and feed us information so we don't go off the rails, we appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime.
Thank you to Billy Dean for
Thank
handling all the ops here for us and getting us on the air and being able to talk to you on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Like we said, Hockey on Tap tomorrow. Got the Rangers starting there on Tuesday against the Lightning. I wonder if there'll be anything going on Hockey on Tap tomorrow there. Lightning versus Rangers. I can't imagine. And then, Thursday, Devils season kicks off. And we got State of the Fan address on Wednesdays before. So the day before, Nick Villano from Pucks and Pitchforks will be going over a nice season preview there. And then we're rocking on Thursday. Samu live at Chickies and Pete's. Game Day Live, and then I'll be along after for Devils After Dark. Gentlemen, it has been real. Billy Dean, we thank you once again. And as we like to say at the end of every podcast, let's go Devils.